Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Planet. This is our hosts, Chuku and
What's up? I'm Scott.
OC.
Crystal.
And we have to talk about some interesting news that's going on with DC.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of crazy stuff has been happening with DC recently. The Warner Brothers and Discovery merger has caused a lot of chaos.
Turmoil.
Okay,
chaos.
honestly, I don't know anything about it. All I watched was a ProZD skit about about how.
Well, the biggest thing most recently has been the cancellation of the Batgirl film.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You posted that in IG, right?
Yeah, the cancellation of the Batgirl film. So I don't know about you guys. I went through like stages of reactions to that news, but basically at first I was like, why? What is going on? What is happening? Why are they shelving an entire movie that's pretty much done? Because that's not something that you see or hear happening very often, especially in Hollywood. Especially with Warner Brothers, the way that they've been moving recently, it's just kind of been like, prior to the merger, they'll put out whatever, and they'll figure out
Whatever hits.
whatever hits. But now to hear about a movie that they put $70 million into, they've invested $70 million in, and they're saying that it's not, and they're deciding to just shelve it completely. So
What was the reasoning? Like, was it just not good?
That's the thing. That's the thing. Apparently, according to Warner Brothers, they're saying that the movie was not up to their standards to be released. That's what they said.
Yeah, and just to for the boring business side of things, they would rather eat the cost than spend more money on marketing and promoting the film, because that's millions more dollars to invest to kind of get people to watch it.
Yeah.
So they chose to eat it instead of put more money into it.
Which is, it's interesting to hear. I mean, at first I was a little bit, disappointed, but then after hearing that a lot of the test screenings that they did came back super negative, that the movie was unwatchable.
Really?
Wait, I'm trying to understand. What does this have to do with the merger?
So the people who are in charge of Warner Brothers and DC now are different than they were a year ago.
I see.
The people a year ago have basically since the merger with Discovery, the Discovery CEO, the new CEO of everything Warner Brothers and DC is David Zaslav. He's the new guy who's in charge, and he's been kind of just wrecking shop with DC, which is interesting to watch because
he's the money guy.
Well, it's not necessarily that. I don't think it's a money thing, because one of the issues with the previous regime of Warner Brothers was that a lot of their moves were for short-term monetary, gain. There was a whole thing with the Justice League movie where they were, because they had to do reshoots, for that movie, they kind of wanted more time, but they forced. Who's the guy? Not Snyder. The guy that took over for Snyder.
Joss Whedon?
Joss Whedon. They forced him to get the film out on the original release date, so that they could have it as their quarterly bump in their finances. Those were the kind of decisions that were being made with the previous ownership of Warner Brothers.
So how is the new guy wrecking shop?
One of the initial things that he did, there was going to be a Wonder Twins movie, and they had cast the Riverdale guy.
Oh,
I think we mentioned that last.
We mentioned that, yeah, and they were like, nope, we're not doing this. He's like, that's gone, no more Wonder Twins movie. He also he's been canceling a lot of the CW shows, like the DC CW shows that have been there. He's been canceled. They've been canceled. The only thing that hasn't been canceled, I think, is Stargirl. That's the only thing that is still.
I have not been
I
keeping
heard
up.
Flash has one more season, and then it's going to be canceled.
Yeah,
Yo,
it has
Flash
one
is
more.
still going.
It's
That's
still
crazy.
going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still running, guys.
Still running.
Still running. I don't know what they're doing, but it's still going. But yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff, and this is this most recent batch of news has been the biggest thing that has blown up the internet pretty much.
I don't know if it was that man specifically, but there's like a lot of like kind of sayings and goings on about like they're trying to follow like the Disney model, basically confirming that they're trying to like make a whole like Marvel plan MCU type thing for DC because it worked for them. It's like I think DC tried to do something different, but you said it was all for like short-term monetary gain.
Yeah.
So if that didn't work, you know,
I mean,
why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do something tried and true. I think they're going to copy the Disney model.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they already tried to do that with all the DCEU movies, right?
They tried. However, there's never been a plan with the DCEU, and they now have apparently a 10-year plan for their movies.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what the buzz is about.
That's part of it. I think the biggest thing has just been that a lot of the fans of DC are they're kind of going, I don't know, they're kind of getting a little bit crazy about all the changes that have been made. I personally think that it's a good thing that let's take the Batgirl example. I think it's a good thing that they're so dedicated. They seem at least to be so dedicated to quality that they would rather eat the cost of $70 million as opposed to putting out a bad product at this stage. I think that that's a good thing. We also know that they seem to be moving away from the model of putting things direct to streaming because the Blue Beetle movie that we talked about that a little bit earlier about how we were hoping that would be safe, but then I went back and I realized that they actually moved. This new regime was the regime that actually moved the Blue Beetle movie from going direct to streaming to having a theatrical release.
Okay.
So they at least feel that wherever Blue Beetle is, it's of a good enough quality that they can push it and use it to do what they want to do.
And they're recently, you know, they do a theatrical release and then they put it on HBO Max not that long after. They're going to move away from doing that. They're not going to put it straight on HBO Max after the theatrical release. So, I mean, everything is pointing towards just getting people back in theaters.
Yeah, which I appreciate that. And according to what they've been saying, their 10-year plan centers a lot on Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, send me that. What's your source? Oh my gosh.
It was in the earnings call that they had for their stock investors, which they basically said that a lot of their 10-year plan is going to focus on, because like why wouldn't it focus on Superman?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I agree. Say less.
Yeah, they haven't had Superman on screen in how many years, and it doesn't make sense that you would have a Wonder Twins movie, but there's no Superman.
So we're specifically just talking about films specifically, right? Here.
Films, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about casting? Do we still have Henry Cavill or
that hasn't been confirmed.
Oh,
but
imagine a whole
really-
new cast.
I totally
That's
had a dream
lot.
about Superman last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about a new movie.
No, not really. Not a new movie. It's just like seeing Superman and like him.
Oh yeah.
Him wrecking places.
Wrecking
Oh, okay. So Homelander, basically.
No, he was a good guy. He was a good guy.
Oh,
But he
yeah.
was, you know, sometimes buildings get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And people
That's
get in the way too.
interesting.
Yeah.
But
I would love to sit in on those earnings calls.
I think
Okay,
you
well,
can.
It
It's a
basically
Yeah,
sounds
let's do it
like
next time.
Yeah.
it basically sounds like the same as what we talked about last time.
It's
It
similar. I think
doesn't
it's just
really
that
sound like much has changed.
Well,
not much.
for you, your opinion changed because I know you were a little disappointed that
Yeah.
that
with the
Batgirl
news.
was. But what I've seen is mainly like positive reception towards that, and I feel like a lot of it is just like haters, like guys that are just like, oh yeah, Batgirl sucks. You know, if you go,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you go,
the bad parts of the internet.
But like, there's a lot of people that are like actual like film people that are like, and DC fans are like, hey, if this is, you know, the right choice, then yeah, we'll take it also. So it's like, it actually has been like mainly positive things that I've seen about that.
Okay.
That cancellation or the shelving of Batgirl.
Yeah. I mean, I guess time will tell. We'll see how this goes. They seem to be dedicated to quality, which is great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
So do
Yeah.
you think partially is since they have a 10-year plan, do you think partially it's like they want to, if they're doing another Batgirl, they want it to be more cohesive with the whole other universe?
I would imagine.
It's possible that they might reshoot it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible that they might include, because the actress that they have playing Batgirl is Leslie Grace. She was in the Heights, not In the Heights.
She was in the Heights.
She was in the Heights.
Yeah.
Or was it
No, she was in the Heights.
Okay.
Were you gonna say the Steven
West
Spielberg
Side
one?
Story. Yeah.
I wish she might have been, but she was definitely in the Heights.
In the Heights. Okay.
Quick question to
I
you
saw that
guys.
movie.
Since we mentioned it earlier, for CW, DC stuff,
Mm-hmm.
what have you guys actually seen? And like, where did you stop? just out of curiosity.
Oh, as far as like which shows?
For CW, DC stuff.
DC stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally, yeah.
Arrow, Flash.
Flash.
I think I saw like the first 4 or 5 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow.
I saw like 2 episodes of Legends Tomorrow.
Okay, I watched the whole season of Legends of Tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
Black
Yeah.
Lightning, the first episode.
Chuka, you've seen all of them.
I don't know if I've seen all of CW shows.
I don't think we have seen
Just way
Stargirl,
more.
right?
I haven't seen Stargirl.
I haven't
but
seen
I haven't
any of
seen
that's good.
Stargirl.
Haven't seen the Superman and Lois.
Me
Yeah,
either.
haven't
Haven't
seen
seen
that.
Superman and
Yeah.
Lois.
Apparently that's good.
I think I saw Supergirl, the first episode of that.
Right,
That's
right,
Supergirl.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
see the first couple episodes of Supergirl.
I think we made it like a video trashing it. No,
Yeah,
didn't we?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. I think that's about
Just like
it.
the first like few episodes.
first few episodes. The
Yeah.
only one that consistently I watched was Flash and Arrow. But
Same.
Same.
so
Where'd you stop with
Smallville.
Arrow?
Arrow, I think
Yeah.
after season 4. Season 4,
Okay.
I stopped.
I watched the whole thing, I think, for Arrow. And then Flash, I think I stopped at season 4.
Yeah, same. Season 4 was my cutting line for these shows.
Yeah, there's just some.
I think once Daredevil started coming out, I'm like, okay,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
there
there's,
actually
like,
is
better
better DC.
seasons.
There are better superhero shows.
Yeah.
I think that's what changed my mind more.
I was always kind of like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this. So I've only seen
Yeah.
I've only seen those.
And you're more of a movie person too.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I've seen way less of those than you guys have.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I think after the crossover that.
Oh yeah, that crossover. I think that was the
Yeah,
hallmark.
that was the
Not the first one, but like the second one.
cutoff.
Yeah, that was just the cutout.
the Crisis
Done.
of Infinite Earth one.
Yeah, that
I'm
one.
done with this
God.
world.
That was the ultimate moment where I realized they're trying to be Avengers, but they came off as Power Rangers. So
Yeah.
Yikes.
I think it's hilarious how like they do the crossover to get people to watch it, but like
It's
it
the
has
thing
the
that turns
opposite
but it's like
effect.
unwatchable.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like after watching it, I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
Especially having to watch like an episode of each of the other shows. Like you have to watch this episode of Supergirl and then you have to watch this episode of Legends of Tomorrow in order for it to all make sense.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like kind of all of DC stuff. That's
Yeah.
like with live action cast, right? They try to do like a Justice League movie and Batman v Superman, except they're unwatchable. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to think which you think was the worst out of all the DC TV series. Which you think
CW?
was the worst one for CW?
Probably like the ones we haven't seen.
I mean, no, as in like I'm talking about your experience, like what you have seen. Like which one you were
Oh.
like, I can't believe I even watched the first episode.
That's tough, dude.
To me, it's a
It
tie
is.
between Supergirl and the Black Lightning.
Really?
oh, sad.
Mine is I'd probably go Legends. I didn't
How about Batwoman? Wasn't that a thing? Batwoman.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch it. I forgot that existed.
That was a thing. That was probably the worst one.
I've not watched it, so I couldn't say.
That's what I'm
anything.
saying. It's probably one of the ones we just didn't watch.
No, but I'm talking about from the ones you
Okay,
have
okay,
watched. This
fine.
is based off your own personal experience.
I think one
Not
of
just
the
if they look
Hey,
bad.
why does Batgirl get such a bad rap? Like she needs a good like.
well that one was
Well,
Batwoman.
that was Batwoman.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
Come on
difference.
now.
Yeah,
what do you
Batwoman.
mean, whatever?
There is a difference.
There's a
a
difference.
I know. We need a good Bat family.
We need a good female Batman.
We need
movie.
like HBO produced DC shows. We need
mean, yeah.
Constantine or like The Question or something.
There was a show. Constantine had a show.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
On,
He did have
Yeah.
a show for like a
I
Because
didn't
he,
watch it.
he
I
popped
did
up
watch
an
it.
Arrow. And
Yeah,
it was
I
a-
watched
Oh,
it. It was a
man.
good season.
Okay.
It was good. I don't remember much from it,
That could be
but I
the
remember
spirit.
liking him as Constantine.
Was it like
very much.
Supernatural or something?
A little bit.
There could be really, if there's like a DC story that was produced like HBO level, I would watch
It would
the
be so
crap out of
good.
it. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, to answer Truku's question, sorry. I think one of the later seasons of Flash was like absolutely terrible.
Okay, that's true. I forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget about that.
Because I liked Flash season 1 and 2, I think. And then Arrow season 2 was my favorite out of everything I've watched from CW. But
That's true.
yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Okay. What about USC?
It's so long ago, dude. It's hard
it's
to.
hard to recall, but I would say that I mean, out of all of them, it'd probably just be the Infinite Earths crossover.
Does that count?
Does that count?
I think it should count.
That's its own
I-
thing, I
I
think.
mean, I guess, but
Out of
I'm
all
talking
of
about
the-
like a series where you're just like,
Out of all the series,
like you're just like, I can't believe I even
probably Legends,
Legends.
because that was the one that I gave the most chance to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was expecting it was coming off of Arrow and Flash when they were still good.
It had a really cool concept. But
It had a cool concept, and I liked some of the characters, but it just wasn't,
Yeah.
worth it.
What about you, Crystal? I know you didn't watch much of it, but like,
Probably just with Scott, like the later seasons of The Flash.
oh, okay.
I mean, I stopped too,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Did you say your answer?
Yeah, mine's was
Black Lightning.
it was
you
a
said?
tie between Black Lightning or Supergirl. Like I just saw the first episode and I was already like, why am I watching?
What about
this?
it? Were they just like boring or what?
To me, I think maybe the time when Black Lightning came, I started getting into like TV writing in college, so I started noticing the things that
It
CW does.
sucked.
So for me, it was just there was just too much like the overacting, all this stuff, the dramatic stuff, like
Yeah.
all that to me
Well,
was
that's
just too
how
cringy.
all CW
They are,
CW
I
shows are
guess.
very cringy.
Yeah, they are like that. That's true. But I guess something about the way Black Lightning was done,
Yeah.
was done in a way where maybe because I'm black, so it's like
It felt.
it
more-
felt like they're forcing something that wasn't.
It felt more cringe.
It felt more cringier.
The way, okay, I mean, with Black Lightning, I turned it off after like a couple seconds.
Oh yeah, you couldn't do a seconds. I did an
Maybe
episode.
that's your choice.
No,
I did an epised.
because it opens with Nina Simone's Strange Fruit
Oh no.
as the background, and that song is about
That's
lynching.
serious.
So I'm like, why is this happening? I just turned on this superhero show, and all of a sudden, I'm listening to this extremely like traumatic song with no context. I'm not doing this. It's like I don't know what you're trying to do here, but you haven't given me any reason for this to make sense. So I'm
Oh,
turning
that's
it off.
interesting. I didn't
It
know
was
you
like-
guys had this experience with Black Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was like textbook fake woke.
It
Yes,
was so
exactly.
it was just it was extremely cringe in that moment.
I think
So,
that's
like,
the reason why I hated it more than Supergirl, because at least
Yeah.
Supergirl wasn't trying to be woke at that moment.
I turned it off, and I probably intended to get back to it at some point, but then I heard it was bad, so I was like, there's no point.
Yeah, like diverse media and diverse content doesn't have to be woke. If it features a diverse cast, like that's enough. Just make the story good.
Yeah.
Right? You can have like cultural elements, but like to overdo it like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. But
Strange.
yeah, that is the thing. But as far as movies go, I'm hoping the Static Shock movie doesn't get like.
I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that's a thing.
It's not. I don't know if it's been officially confirmed yet, though. I know that they've been talking about it, so it might still be in that developmental
That'd be so
stage.
cool because that could bring like young fans in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It could be like the Spider-Verse for DC.
Or I would love since they have Blue Beetle and then they had they're still are they still trying to do Stargirl? Or no, Stargirl's a CW.
Well, it's a CW show.
Or they're still trying to do Supergirl, right?
That's never been officially confirmed.
Okay.
So that's
Supergirl, because she's in the Flash movie.
She is in the
Oh,
Flash
okay,
movie.
okay. I was
So
about to
that's
say.
why that's kind of up in the air too.
Okay, but it'd be cool if they did like a Young Justice, where they have all the Blue
Yeah.
Beetle, have all
It
the
would be. That would be pretty fun. That would be pretty.
Yeah,
fun.
there hasn't been any kind of like Teen Titans
exactly.
live action.
That's
not
that's
even show, not
Wait,
even movie.
Titans is a.
Oh yeah, you're right. And that show's supposed to be pretty good, huh?
yeah,
At least
good.
really well produced.
something like that. But my point is, it'd be cool if they went a movie angle like that, because a lot of these live action movies, as far as the MCU, has been like adult thing, but to have a teen one would be an interesting.
It would be fun.
I know
Angle.
if they can do it before Marvel too, even though Marvel's already shaping it up with like Kamala Khan and like the America Chavez.
Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually gonna be a movie?
I don't know if it's a movie or a
They
show.
have like Black Widow's sister too.
I think it is a movie. It's like the Thunderbolts. One of the movies in Phase 6.
No, Thunderbolts is the one about like who's the Captain America guy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's about like the Dark Avengers,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, Dark Avengers, but I'm talking about like teens, like.
Yeah.
They have to be because they have Kamala Khan and they have
They have
America
plans.
Chavez now. So
They have them, but will they use them?
DC,
I think
make the
they will.
Titans.
Yeah, but out of curiosity, and since we were talking trash about DC stuff, I'm curious about like the things that you guys really love in DC, like in terms of, I guess
The
most of it's
animated
animation
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. Back to animation,
Oh man,
like Justice League
Man of
Unlimited.
Steel though.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel is good.
Made me
enjoyable.
actually appreciate Superman.
The first Wonder
Really?
Woman.
yeah.
You hated Superman until Man of Steel?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate him, but I
Wait,
was like,
for real? For real?
yeah, no, I was like, Superman sucks.
No, get out.
Before Man of Steel, I was like, why would anybody care about Superman?
No, I've loved Superman since the cartoon,
And
since Justice
I
League
watched,
cartoon.
I watched Man of Steel. I was like, oh, I care about
I
Superman.
mean, I never hated
Smallville.
Superman. I just thought it was overrated.
Well, okay, Smallville was fun, but I mean, as a character, comparing Superman to like Batman and all
Okay,
the
I can
other
understand. I
people,
understand
was
what
Is
you're
it
saying.
because they kind of went more into like Kryptonian lore, or like just
no, I
his
think
relationship
it was just,
with his?
it was just seeing his conflict, his internal
Yeah, I see.
conflict displayed in the and you know, before that, the only Superman movie that there was the Richard Donner one from like the 70s or something.
Really?
No, how
You're
about Superman
forgetting
Returns?
Superman Returns.
A lot of people
I'm
forget
forgetting
Superman
it for a
Returns. All
reason.
right, a lot of people forget Superman
That movie
Returns.
is terrible.
Wrong. No.
It's just slow. It's
slow.
just boring.
It's a boring Superman movie, which doesn't make sense.
That doesn't help. Yeah.
But the other one was also low-key kind of boring. I can remember nothing happens in like the first hour of that classic Superman movie.
How about the animations, the animated Superman?
Oh, you mean the show?
No, just not the show, just in general of the character, like in Justice League or.
Oh, I mean, he was there.
Ow.
What you're trying to say
What
is
do
you
you-
were not
But,
really a
like,
fan of
for
Superman.
me, as a kid, I never like latched onto Superman.
I got you.
I get it.
I would latch
yeah.
onto Batman, and
Yeah.
so, or even, you know, I thought that Martian Manhunter was like a super interesting character.
I feel you.
But I was like, oh, Superman, he just has all the powers, I guess. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Man, no, I've always loved
That was how
Superman.
I
but-
felt. Okay, I've grown out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I
grown
know.
out of
It's
that.
interesting to explore our past feelings, I guess, with,
Yeah.
with DC.
And that's fair. And I feel like that's a lot of people's thoughts on Superman. Even post V Man of Steel, because like a lot of people don't talk about that movie anymore.
Yeah,
But Superman's a really interesting character. I mean, you know,
he can
he's-
be if he's written well.
It's an
Yeah.
immigrant story. Like,
Something.
and his like enemy is this like megalomaniac CEO business dude. Like it's really relatable. Like, you know, like even though Superman is like the most like powerful dude on earth, you know, he had like a very humble childhood, and that like formed him into who he was, and like discovering like who he
Yeah.
was later. Like that's really cool, you know?
I think.
It's funny. So I was about to say, because I think this season of Young Justice, they kind of had a different angle with Superman. And I think one thing that, I don't know if I should say the character. Would that be spoilers if I say the character? Well, I mean, if you watch DC, you know Zod. So Zod was inside
Yeah.
the season of Young Justice.
Who's Zod?
But he brought up an interesting point where he said that their theory behind why his parents send him to Earth was that they knew that he would be praised. Like the idea was that this guy was going to be praised as a hero if he was sent to Earth, as opposed to
So he wasn't
sent
just
as
a
different
refugee.
planet.
He was
Yeah.
he was like a colonizer or something.
Something like that. But I thought that was an interesting perspective.
Oh,
of
that would
Superman.
annoy me if I saw that.
I don't know. That's just an interesting way of again from his angle.
They do kind of touch on that in Man of Steel a little bit, but if
But
it's
that's
cool
like
to explore
Zod's,
that.
yeah.
yeah, you have to understand. Yeah, obviously it's Zod's framework.
Well, that just emphasizes too is like Superman's like childhood and his upbringing, which they did emphasize a lot in Man of Steel. Is like
Yeah.
you know you have mom
his
pop.
dad died
Yeah, his
in a
freaking
tornado.
died. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
He's like, don't save me.
which I
Let
thought
me
was
die.
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
I mean,
But yeah.
it
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say like I like the thing about Superman or DC Comics in general. There's just so many different iterations of the characters that sometimes it makes it hard to like follow one single story and make it cohesive in my head. So I'm like, I like that Superman. I don't like that Superman.
That's true.
I'm
It's
that
like-
way. There are some
yeah.
like of the movies where I'm like, I didn't really like Superman in this one.
Yeah, there was like some animated movies, the newer ones, where Superman was just
Yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah, sometimes they make him like a jerk too, and I'm like, that's not him. Like,
I can't remember the title, but it was like they were fighting Darkseid at the end, and it was like Justice League, the whole team up. And the Superman was like fighting Batman and Green Lantern, and Superman was like, it looked like he was gonna really, really do a lot of harm to Batman and Green Lantern, based on the fights, and that doesn't seem like Superman to me. He rather talk first, I feel.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think I know which one you're talking about. It's like one of the newer, just like
Yeah.
Justice League movies.
It's not new anymore. It's probably like from 2015 or something.
Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. I just can't remember the name. But yeah. I mean, that's how it is with all older comic characters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Superman is like one of the first like big ones. So
Yeah.
of course his story is going to be like different for everyone.
You know what made me dislike Superman at some point?
What?
Was Death Battle.
Oh, that why? Because the whole Superman versus
yeah, yeah.
Goku.
Exactly. I was like, this is kind of
That's-
stupid.
yeah.
I will never
remember
forget,
that. I
dude.
remember
Okay,
that.
guys, we gotta go flashback at this because this
Is that
was
when
an-
you got like went to the sun, but then came back because like the sun makes him more powerful?
It might be, but
Yeah,
like it was
yeah.
the first
But-
Goku versus
yeah,
Superman
but
Death Battle.
I think the audience needs to know the back history of this and talk about this in high school because Scott was really passionate about why Goku will defeat Superman no matter how many times we talked about it. And I was on his side until I watched the video, and then I realized, oh, there's different iterations of Superman.
Yeah.
So you were not just talking about Justice League,
Yeah.
Superman
Yeah.
versus Goku.
He's just like
So-
the oldest
But
character
here's the
ever.
thing that Death Battle does that I dislike a lot is that they combine every iteration
Yeah.
into one Superman,
That's
which is
true.
kind of stupid.
OP.
Yeah,
True.
like
Oh wow, that's how powerful he is.
it,
used to it.
it makes
Get over
no
it.
sense.
They want to give the person the most advantages they can. You know?
Yeah, but like DC has already established a multiverse, so
Yeah.
clearly that's a different Superman. This is a different Superman. Why don't you just pick a Superman and then have him fight the
Did you-
only
wait,
Goku?
Did you watch the second one?
Yeah, I watched the second
The
one.
second one, they picked a version of Superman in that one.
I think did they?
Yes, they picked a
they
specific
just
version.
they
of
just
Superman.
stuck with
a certain version
that
of
version?
Superman. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they were.
I don't know, man. I still don't buy it.
I mean, at the end of the day, the whole argument was that philosophically speaking, Goku's all about trying to be better, while Superman is like the best. So wouldn't work out no matter what. That was the whole point. That philosophically they're meant to be different.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
My thing has always been like, even if you beat Goku, like you're not beating him twice.
That's the whole point.
So that's the thing. It's like,
yeah,
yo,
Goku would rather lose to Superman than to easily defeat him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly.
That's his
That's
thing.
how he is. And then he'll come back and break the
Yeah, break his next limit.
break Superman.
Break Superman the second time.
Yeah, this is an old discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. It's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
I still think that Goku versus a lot of the versions of Superman would still win.
Yeah.
But I guess if you choose
But
the
it
one
also
that
depends.
sneezed and destroyed the universe, yeah.
True, but we also have to understand there's different variations of Goku now. Now that GT and Super are two different,
Oh, come on.
they're two different things. So there's
Just
a
go with
different-
the canon version.
Okay, obviously canon, quote unquote.
Did you guys all watch Miss Marvel?
Miss
No.
Marvel.
I did.
No.
I didn't. I mean, I watched it. I watched Miss Marvel. It was a show that was on Disney Plus, and
It was the show of all time.
I don't like having to be forced to watch these shows.
Exactly.
You don't
have to.
you don't
No
have
one's
to,
putting a
OC.
gun to your head, OC. I
But I
promise
mean,
you.
I don't know. It. One of the things is that the fact that it's a weekly release makes it easy for me enough to follow it, because it's like, okay, it's just one episode this week. Might as well.
Yeah.
And then that was basically what got me through Miss Marvel.
That ends like 6 episodes, right?
and it's like six
So it's short.
episodes. Yeah. So I sat through it, and it was okay. It's definitely it started with a very specific aesthetic that it kind of lost in the
Really?
middle. Yeah,
They lost that creative,
Like the
thing?
fun,
Yeah.
like teen
No
stuff.
way.
Yeah, they kinda-
To be honest, no. I'm only saying that because like.
It sounds like you're being sarcastic.
No, the reason why. No. Okay, I guess. I mean.
Wait,
No way.
No
Oh my
way.
the
god.
show
It-
got worse.
It got worse in the middle.
What?
Okay, no, but on a real note, I will admit, as much as I didn't like the first episode, I thought that aesthetic was like.
It
at
was
least
cool.
interesting.
It was creative. I agree. I only
Yeah.
watched the first episode.
yeah, they lost that, which I found it annoying, but I got it. It's like, okay, this is gonna appeal to specific people, and they're gonna like it. So I didn't miss it, but the fact that they kind of dropped it was kind of like, what are you guys doing? Like, what was the decision making? It's like,
Was it to transition her to her powers or something like that, do you think? Or
I thought that plays with the powers because there was that argument of whether what's happening is real or not, kind of a thing. I mean, actually, your powers becomes real, but there's sort of that aspect of like, is this,
yeah, I don't think so. I think they just forgot. It seems like they just forgot. I don't know if it has anything to do
they're
with
like,
her
we ran out of
powers.
money. We're gonna do the rest of these ones normal.
Or it's
Yeah.
the person who directed episodes like, I don't care what the show is, I'm going out really hard. It's gonna be super creative, and the other director's like, screw it.
Yeah, there's probably multiple directors, right? That's
There
how a lot of
is.
shows are.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to keep things cohesive. I mean, let's just look at the Star Wars series. Like it's hard, you know.
But yeah, Marvel is I really want them to be good, because also the whole Black Panther trailer that we have, there's a lot of interesting and cool stuff that seems to be coming for the future of Marvel. And
Or it could just be the best trailer of all time.
or
Yeah,
just
it could be.
Yeah.
I still make the joke that what was that movie that's coming out in September? It's like Female King or something like that.
Oh, the Woman King.
The woman king.
Yeah.
I still make the joke that's still gonna be better than
It's
Black
probably
Panther 2.
gonna be
It might
better.
be.
Oh, that's
We'll
my
see.
joke.
We'll see. She looks. What's her name? What's her name?
Wyatt.
Viola Davis.
Yeah,
She looks great in that movie, and I didn't realize John Boyega was in there too. So,
exactly.
yeah, I'm low key excited for that movie. That seems pretty cool. And it has what's her name? Riva from
Oh
Obi-Wan
yes,
Kenobi.
yes. Oh, I like her.
Yeah.
I know she has a lot of hate,
Moses
but like
Ingram, that's her name.
she's cool.
Yeah. So we'll see. It looks like it's gonna be a good movie. But I also want Black Panther 2 to be really good too.
It's
So,
true. We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've basically discussed all our feelings on DC and Marvel at this stage.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
it's
have.
just about waiting and seeing what the next movies are, and then we'll change our opinions from there.
And we'll definitely watch them. So hope they're good.
Yeah. Well, let us know your thoughts on Marvel and DC in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Peace. What's called the podcast The Daily Planet, where we just talk about Warner Brothers stuff.
Yo! I love that idea so much. I love that idea.
The Daily Planet, guys.
So
We're-
much. Oh my god. It's so
Daily
good.
I like it just for the name.
Oh man.
Let's just call it something different every episode.
I want that. I like that. Daily Planet
just
is what I'm going to
make our
introduce it.
branding totally
I
unrecognizable.
like that. That's what makes it interesting.
What are we gonna be called today?